All right, let's jump right in. We're talking about the future of medicine, and believe me, it's already here. It's this incredible mashup of data, biology, and health. And the coolest part? There's a place for you in all of this.
So let's kick things off with a really big question. I mean, a massive one. Because the answer to this is pretty much the whole point of what we're diving into. You see, stopping the next pandemic, that's not just about finding a cure after the fact. It's about getting ahead of the game, seeing it coming before it even has a chance to start.
And that, right there, is the key. The answer, believe it or not, is buried in just massive, massive amounts of biological data. We are smack in the middle of a total revolution in healthcare. We're moving away from that old one-size-fits-all approach to something way more powerful, way more precise. And this is not sci-fi, folks. This is happening right now, and it's opening up some of the absolute coolest career paths you can imagine.
Okay, so who are the people actually building this future? Who are the architects of this whole new world of health? Let's meet the key players, the two main groups that are driving this revolution forward.
So you've got two teams, really. On one side, you have bioinformatics. Think of them as the digital detectives. And on the other, you've got biotechnology. They're the high-tech tool builders. Both are absolutely crucial, but they tackle the problem from totally different directions. Let's dig into what that actually means.
All right, so let's talk about that digital detective. That's your bioinformatician. Imagine them using supercomputers to dig through these mountains of biological data. We're talking our DNA, our genes, looking for tiny hidden clues. Their whole job is to decode the blueprint of life itself. They're solving these incredibly complex medical mysteries, everything from finding the one gene causing a rare disease to tracking exactly how a virus is changing and mutating in real time.
Okay, so if the detectives find the clues, who builds the case? That's where biotechnology comes in. They are the high-tech tool builders. They take all those amazing insights from the data and use them to engineer the next wave of diagnostics, treatments, you name it. They're the ones who literally turn that digital code into a physical thing, a real-world medical breakthrough that can change someone's life.
So, let's zoom in on that first field for a minute. What does it actually look like to be one of these digital detectives? What kind of job would you have?
Well, you'll see a bunch of different job titles, right? But they all boil down to one thing: making sense of all that biological data. For example, a genomics data analyst. They might be looking at your specific DNA to figure out which cancer drug will work best for you. Or you could be an AI and healthcare specialist, building an algorithm that can actually predict where the next flu season is going to hit hardest. I mean, the possibilities here are just exploding.
And here's the really crucial part. This work has a massive direct impact on people's lives. We're talking about creating cancer treatments that are custom-built for a single person's tumor. Or, mapping a virus's genome so fast that we can create vaccines in record time. This is the front line where data analysis literally, and I mean literally, saves lives.
Okay, so that's the data side. Now let's flip over to the tool builders. How do you take all that incredible digital insight and turn it into something real? Something a doctor can hold, something a patient can use?
Well, over here, the jobs are all about creating and applying. So for instance, you might be an R&D scientist in a lab, working on a brand new gene therapy that was only possible because of what the data team found. Or maybe you're a product developer, figuring out how to engineer a new sensor for a smartwatch that can spot the early signs of heart disease. It's all about building the actual stuff that will define the future of medicine.
And this is where you really see the whole thing come full circle. The data that the bioinformaticians decode, that's the fuel for creating these amazing new tools. We're talking everything from simple diagnostic kits that can catch a disease way earlier than we ever could before, to brand new drugs, to the wearable tech on your wrist. This is the exact point where digital information becomes a physical solution.
All right, let's pull the camera back, let's zoom out and look at the big picture. What does all of this mean for the future of health? Not just for one person, but for everyone on a global scale. I'll tell you, the impact it's probably even bigger than you're thinking.
Yeah, this really lays it all out, doesn't it? You can see how these two fields, bioinformatics and biotech, are connected to all these real-world applications, personalized medicine, wearables, you name it. But look at what's driving all this growth. It's things like AI and big data, of course, but it's also us. It's the huge growing demand for healthcare that's tailored specifically to us as individuals. That's what's pushing this whole thing into overdrive.
And that's really the end game here. That's the whole point. We're trying to shift away from a system of medicine that just reacts to you being sick. The vision for the future is a proactive precision system, a system that can predict problems, prevent them from happening, and if they do, treat them in a way that's designed just for you, based on your own unique biology.
And if you look down the road, there are 3 huge trends that are just going to pour fuel on this fire. First, AI and machine learning are going to get even more integrated, making all that data analysis faster and smarter than we can even imagine. Second, things like telemedicine and wearables, they're going to bring healthcare right to your doorstep, literally. And third, real-time disease tracking means we can see an outbreak starting and shut it down before it ever becomes a problem.
So, what's the big takeaway from all of this? It's that the wall that used to exist between a research lab and your doctor's office, it's completely coming down. These digital tools are building a superhighway directly from a scientific discovery to your personal health plan. And this isn't just happening in one place, it's happening all over the world.
And that brings us to one last really powerful idea. Think about this. For the very first time in human history, we can read our own biological code. The conversation is totally changed. It's not if we can solve the biggest challenges in medicine anymore, it's which ones do we solve first. The future of medicine isn't a movie you're just going to watch. It's something you can step into and help build. So the real question is, what problems are you going to solve?